Can you imagine discovering that your favorite team was just one phone call away from landing a game-changing player, only to watch that opportunity slip through their fingers at the last possible moment? That's exactly the gut-wrenching reality Warriors fans are confronting today as explosive new details emerge about Golden State's secret pursuit of Utah Jazz forward John Collins. While the basketball world was captivated by the Warriors' high-profile chase of Lauri Markkanen last summer, a far more intriguing subplot was unfolding behind closed doors, one that could have completely rewritten the narrative of Golden State's championship aspirations. This isn't just another what-if story that haunts NBA front offices. This is about a franchise that came tantalizingly close to solving their biggest roster puzzle, only to see the solution vanish in the chaos of February's trade deadline madness. The revelation that both the Warriors and Lakers were actively pursuing Collins before Jimmy Butler's earth-shaking move to Phoenix adds a layer of drama that makes you wonder, what if Golden State had pulled the trigger just a few days earlier? The hidden negotiations that could have changed everything, according to Andy Larson of the Salt Lake Tribune. The Warriors' interest in Collins wasn't some casual inquiry tossed around by board executives. This was legitimate, serious pursuit that extended right up until Butler trade reshaped the entire NBA landscape. The Warriors were interested in Collins at the trade deadline before they got Jimmy Butler, Larson revealed during the Locked on Jazz podcast, and those words carried the weight of championship dreams that might have been realized. Picture the scenario. While fans were refreshing their phones and marketing updates, Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. was quietly working multiple angles to upgrade his roster. Collins represented something different from the marketing pursuit. Not the splashy all-star acquisition that would dominate headlines, but perhaps the more practical, immediately impactful addition that could have pushed Golden State over the championship threshold. The timing makes this revelation even more fascinating. February's trade deadline is notorious for last-minute chaos, where franchise-altering deals can materialize or evaporate within hours. The Warriors were apparently positioned to make a move that would have addressed their most glaring weakness, front-court scoring and rebounding. But the Butler trade sent shockwaves through the league that ultimately derailed their plans. Collins' statistical renaissance. The numbers that demand respect. Let's examine why Collins should have been on every contender's wish list. After a disappointing final season in Atlanta that raised questions about his fit on winning teams, Collins has quietly orchestrated one of the most impressive individual revivals in recent memory. His 2023-24 campaign, though limited to just 40 games due to Utah's strategic tanking approach, showcased a player who had rediscovered his identity and maximized his effectiveness. The numbers tell an incredible story. 19.0 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 2.0 combined steals and blocks per game, while shooting a blistering 52.7% from the field and an elite 39.9% from three-point range. These aren't just solid contributions. They represent the type of two-way impact that championship teams desperately need from their complementary pieces. That three-point percentage is particularly crucial when considering Collins' potential fit in Golden State's system. The Warriors have built their entire offensive philosophy around creating space for their elite shooters, and Collins' ability to stretch the floor while providing legitimate interior presence makes him a perfect theoretical match for Steve Kerr's approach. When you can shoot nearly 40% from deep on meaningful volume, while also providing rebounding and interior scoring, you become exactly the type of player that transforms good teams into great ones. The financial reality that killed the dream here is where this near miss becomes truly heartbreaking for Warriors fans. Collins' $26.6 million salary created significant matching challenges for a Golden State team already navigating complex luxury tax implications. The financial gymnastics required to acquire Collins would have demanded either a multi-team arrangement or the type of asset sacrifice that could compromise the Warriors' future flexibility. Larson's comment about the contract situation not working out anymore reflects the harsh economic realities of modern NBA roster construction. The Butler trade didn't just shift competitive balance. It fundamentally altered the financial landscape that governs deadline dealing. Collins' expected decision to pick up his player option for the upcoming season adds another layer of complexity that makes any potential trade even more challenging to execute. But here's what makes this story so compelling. The Warriors have repeatedly demonstrated their willingness to pay luxury tax penalties in pursuit of championship glory. if they truly believed Collins could provide the missing piece to their title puzzle. The financial obstacles might not have been insurmountable with creative structuring and strategic asset management. The positional chess match. How Collins could have unlocked everything at 6 feet 9 inches. Collins presents a type of positional versatility that modern championship teams require. While he's not a traditional center, his ability to play small ball 5 would have allowed Golden State to maintain their preferred pace and spacing, while adding the rebounding and interior scoring they desperately lack. The supposed overlap with Draymond Green actually represents a fascinating opportunity, rather than a limitation. Imagine lineups where Collins provides a consistent offensive production that Green has never delivered, while Green handles a defensive coordination and playmaking that makes him irreplaceable, rather than viewing their skill sets as redundant. Innovative coaching could have made them perfectly complementary. Collins' evolution as a three-point shooter has been the key to his positional flexibility, his ability to step out and hit from deep, while also providing interior presence would have given the Warriors lineup combinations they haven't possessed since their championship runs. In crucial playoff moments, having two players who can switch defensively while providing completely different offensive skill sets could have been the difference between another early exit and championship glory. The Utah perspective. Why this deal made perfect sense from the Jazz's perspective. Collins represented everything a rebuilding franchise wants in a trade asset. Productive enough to command legitimate value, but misaligned with their long-term timeline. Utah has clearly prioritized development of their young core and strategic draft positioning for future talent acquisition. Collins, at 27 years old and playing at an all-star level, could have brought back assets that better align with their rebuilding strategy. The fact that Utah deliberately limited Collins to just 40 games last season while prioritizing their draft position tells you everything about how they viewed his role in their future. When a rebuilding organization intentionally reduces a productive player's minutes to improve their lottery odds, it's essentially a neon sign advertising that player's availability for the right package. The Kuminga conundrum. Present versus future, any serious Collins pursuit will likely involve Jonathan Kuminga, either as a direct trade piece or through a complex sign-and-trade scenario. This creates a fascinating philosophical question that goes to the heart of championship team building. Do you prioritize young talent's long-term potential or proven production's immediate championship contribution? Kuminga represents everything the Warriors hope to develop: explosive athleticism, defensive versatility, and gradually improving offensive skills. But Collins represented something they desperately needed in real time: proven playoff production, reliable shooting, and championship-tested experience. For a franchise with an aging core and a rapidly closing championship window, the win-now mentality should have favored the Collins acquisition. The championship window urgency here's the uncomfortable truth that Warriors fans must confront. Stephen Curry is 36, Klay Thompson has departed, and Draymond Green is showing clear signs of decline. The championship window isn't just closing, it's slamming shut with each passing season. Every roster decision needs to be evaluated through the lens of maximizing their remaining opportunities with this legendary core. Collins would have brought something the Warriors have been missing since their championship years: a reliable third scoring option who can create his own shot while fitting seamlessly into their system. His career averages of 16.0 points and 8.1 rebounds on excellent shooting percentages aren't just solid numbers. They represent exactly the type of consistent production that championship teams require from their role players. The Butler ripple effect. How one trade changed everything. Jimmy Butler's move to Phoenix didn't just create another Western Conference super team. It fundamentally altered the competitive landscape that every contender must navigate. With Butler joining forces with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, the Suns instantly became a more dangerous playoff threat, raising the bar for every team with championship aspirations. This reality makes the missed Collins opportunity even more painful. If the Warriors believed they needed additional firepower to compete with the newly formed Phoenix juggernaut, Collins represented one of the few available upgrades that could have meaningfully impacted their championship odds without requiring a complete roster overhaul. Summer possibilities. The story isn't over as we head into the offseason. Collins' situation remains fluid and fascinating. His expected player option decision will trigger a series of moves that could reshape multiple franchises' championship strategies. For the Warriors, the question isn't whether Collins would help. It's whether they can construct a deal that makes financial and strategic sense in the current environment. The 8-year veteran's track record speaks volumes about his potential impact. Originally drafted 19th overall by Atlanta in 2017, Collins has consistently delivered productive seasons when healthy and properly utilized. His career shooting percentages: 54.6% from the field and 36.3% from three, suggest a player who has maximized his efficiency while adapting to the modern NBA's spacing requirements. The lasting impact of almost this near miss represents everything that makes NBA roster construction both thrilling and agonizing. On paper, Collins would have solved many of Golden State's problems. In practice, acquiring him would have required financial creativity and asset sacrifice that could have impacted their long-term flexibility. But championship windows don't wait for perfect circumstances. Sometimes, the difference between title contention and playoff disappointment comes down to making difficult decisions that prioritize immediate impact over future flexibility. For a Warriors franchise that has tasted championship glory and desperately want another opportunity, John Collins might have represented their best chance to add meaningful talent around their aging core. The revelation of this missed opportunity forces us to wonder, how many other potential game-changing trades slip through the cracks each season? How many championship dreams die not from lack of talent or effort, but from timing and circumstances beyond anyone's control? As the Warriors look ahead to another season of trying to maximize their remaining championship window, the Collins story serves as both inspiration and warning. Sometimes the perfect opportunity is right there waiting, but you have to be bold enough to seize it before someone else does. What do you think? Should the Warriors have moved heaven and earth to land Collins? Or are you glad they held on to their assets for a potentially bigger move? Drop your thoughts below and smash that like button if you're ready to dive deeper into the trades that almost changed NBA history.